Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Toria's Cozy Toes podcast. I'm Vicky. I'm a knitter and crocheter living in Derby in the United Kingdom. And today is Sunday, the 14th of December. So we're over halfway through our Advents now, which is kind of amazing. I am going to talk and show about my Advents and show what I've got so far, which is why I'm actually going to upload this tomorrow, because I don't like spoilers in my Advents. I don't like making other people have spoilers because they've seen my podcast. So I will be talking about it in a bit. So if I appear to be peering at all, it's because I've not got my glasses on. I've not got my lenses in. I have my glasses on, but unfortunately what's happened, the Christmas lights in my window are just reflecting in them and it's irritating. So don't want to put you through that. If you want to see what the Christmas lights look like, I believe they were one of my photos last week, one of my day photos. So yeah, coming on to that, I've not been doing Vlogmas, but what I've done is try and put a photo up every day on Instagram. Most yarny, but not all of them, because I'm trying to show my life as well. But anyway, it's 2 weeks, or just over 2 weeks since I recorded. There's a mountain next to me, and I guess we better get on with what I've been finishing. Last time I recorded, you may remember I said I was getting a bit panicked about the amount of Christmas knitting I had to do. I just thought I hadn't finished. So we do have some finished items, and the first one is the cardigan for my older niece, which is here. So I've literally just sewn these buttons on today. I had a bit of panic that the buttons I'd got that I thought would work didn't work so well with this one, and therefore what I've done is you went out yesterday and bought some buttons, which I'm using. These are from Chris's Crafts, and you can't really see them very well, but they're just these iridescent blue flowers that just pick up on the blue tones in the grey and in the cardigan. There is a slight, I've noticed it, and when I blocked this, I noticed some colour in the water. I'd put colour catchers in, and I have just noticed that there's a little bit of run into the grey around this buttonhole, but you have to appear to notice it, and it's mottled grey, it's fine. So what yarns is this? This is done in a mixture of yarns. They're in this bag still. So the grey is Yarn Smith's Merino Sock in shade 2K012, which is Grey Heather. That's the second ball of that, and there's still quite a lot of that, so I've not used loads of it. And then, so that's, yeah, the grey that's all round, and on the double knit button band I've done. So yeah. Then the 4 colours are the Daily Advent from last year, 2024, from Truly Hooked. So we have week 1, week 2. These are all still in their yarn cozies, I've not moved them yet. Week 3, and week 1's escaped, and week 4. So yeah, showing them here, but actually they always look better in the cardigan. So yes, last time I showed you this, I was here on this sleeve. So I've done all of that sleeve, and then all of the second sleeve as well. I did sew in all my ends. I'll turn it sleeve inside out, you can see. You may remember last time I said about I didn't want to be carrying lots of yarn down inside this sleeve here. And you can see I've only carried the grey. Every other yarn I've sewn in the ends. So it is now complete. If I take the marker off, yes, I changed it to a little light bulb marker just because when I was blocking I didn't want to put the big ghost in the blocking water. That is now ready to be packaged and wrapped, which is good because that's what my plan is for the rest of the afternoon, will be to get everything wrapped for Christmas. I'll go into that in a bit more in life in a bit. So let's put that over on this side. As I say, I need to find the other one now. These 4 yarns are going away. Something else in there as well. Yes, more than I thought. Are going to go away. These will go away with my leftovers of the DK advent I had and the Emma's yarn, and will be coming out again probably in January. I think it's going to be one of my 12 cast-ons, is to recast on something. You may remember I had a double knit cardigan I made for myself earlier in the year that really just didn't suit me, the style, because it was too drop shouldered, made me look really broad. I do intend to redo that cardigan as one of my 12 cast-ons. So, however, having used the double knit yarn for my younger niece's cardigan, I probably haven't quite got enough double knit for me. So yeah, that's the plan for that. So that's my first finished item. I've just discovered my second finished item as well. I know that's going way somewhere else, but you can go down there for now. My second finished item. This was a half finished item last time, you may remember. I had done one of the broccoli socks for my niece. We now have, get it on blockers, the second one. So again, she now has a pair of broccoli socks with these beautiful pink heels toes cuffs. And this was the, I've got a bit of yarn out. Oops, there it is. So this was a combination of the purple sparkling broccoli sock yarn from, I've put it over here. This is me being prepared, by the way. This is where my life is at the moment. Dragon Hill Studios that I'd got at Yarndale 2024. But I've done an adult pair of socks and I've done a niece pair of socks. So that was pair 11 for her box. And as I say, the pink was a random mini. I've got about that much left. Should be a bit more somewhere, possibly. Can't remember how I did it now, but never mind. Yeah, I've got about that much left. And that's pair 11 for her this year. So those are the two whips you'd seen before that I finished. There is one more whip, excuse me, that I finished. And that's in this little bag from Joe Pickle that I got last year. I think I got it online. Can't remember now. Last time you saw me opening the Glad Tidings yarn from the Yarn Badger. And I have now done, I'm actually going to put it on my hand because you can see it better, this one. An easy sock in that. The pattern I've used is Socks You Know It from Jane Burns, Kelly Menzies, Robo and Cade's. They released it under the Unity when they were doing that podcast, and did it as a knit along, so you can see it there. So here on the other side, look. I just wanted to do something a bit different, but without making it too different. And as I say, there's one of those, and there's a second one of those. So yes, that is pair 12. I have done it. She has 12 pairs of socks. So what I actually thought I would do, and that's one of the reasons I've got piles of piles here, you can see, pair of socks, is to show everything. Saying that, I've not opened this for a while. So this is box last year's advent from Truly Hook was in, and I thought it made quite a nice box. So let's quickly buy 1, 2. We should be able to see her box of socks. I guess the challenge is, can I name all the socks? So that's definitely West Yorkshire Spinners Candy Cane. That was one of the West Yorkshire Spinners Yarndale colourways. That's Yarn Smith's Merino sock, Tutti Frutti, I think. That's another West Yorkshire Spinners, and I think that's another Yarndale colourway. That's Blue Fern yarn, possibly Blackberry Pie, I'm not quite sure. That's Siobhan's Crafts. I want to say Petal Blizzard, but again, I'm not 100% on that. That was the Easter colourway from the Yarn Badger. That was part of a 50-gram fade set sock blank from Discrete Unicorn. So it was a 2-strand one, so I'd done for me and then I did for my niece. Mine are more pink, hers are purple. That's Yarn Unique, I think. That's Regia. So these are the two that I've just put in there. So yes, she now has a box of socks ready for me to wrap up and for her to open for Christmas. So yeah, really pleased with that. I suspect she'll be pleased with it as well, so we'll wait and see. But yeah, I'm not sure her mum's going to be quite so happy that she's got all these beautiful hand-knit socks, because might be having arguments about when she can wear them, but who knows? Not my problem. I'm just lovely auntie that gives them to her. So yeah, my wonderful cardboard sock blockers for her I'm going to keep for now. I don't know whether I'll do knit as many pairs next year for her. It depends how she gets on. And also, if she's growing, I may well need to make a new pair because she'll have bigger feet. These children do this thing called growing, which is really annoying. So yes, remnants of those two need to go away. That's the next job. The rest of the Glad Tidings and its mini skein, which are in here. And a needle. That will be becoming an adult sock. I need to work out how much of the contrast I have, because I have got a bit of contrast left. Work out how much. And decide if that's going to be heels or if it's going to be the cuff. I just need to work that out pretty soon, I think, really. That comes into plans a bit more anyway. So what else have I been working on? Not a lot. I'm going to be honest. Not a huge amount else, because that's taken a lot of my time. But say that, this has had quite a bit of work. So this is my, you may remember, my lovely West Knits Project 39 bag. And this is holding my birthday cast on, which is the Pouf cardigan. You can see here. So I think I've got all of my cardigan yarns in here. I've not got my edging yarn in because it didn't quite fit. And I thought actually for the cardigan yarns. So where are we? Last time you saw this has grown quite a lot actually, hasn't it? Last time you saw it, I was here. So I think I'd done one row with one strand of colour 2. I hadn't even fully finished colour 1. So we now have a finished colour 1. I have split for the sleeves. So we've finished colour 1, done the fade, just about 6 fade into colour 2, and you can just see where colour 3 started to come in a bit paler. That's this colour here, pinks and pearloos, and I have just finished colour 2 completely. So it's grown quite a bit. So yeah, easy way to hold this really, is there? So yes, there. So yes, I'm pleased where it's got to. This is all in Truly Hooked yarn, and it's all on the Purino base, which is non-superwash. And so you hold 2 strands double the whole way through. So colour 1, up the top here, is Nocturnal. I've kept all the labels together. So colour 2 is which is sort of this colour here. No, that's colour 1. This is colour 2. It's watercolours. Colour 3, which, as I say, you can see it coming in here with paler, but not as much, I think. And that's Loves Me, Loves Me Not. So what I have done on colour 2 was I wound off about 22 grams off the cape before I started it, knowing that I was likely to get to the sleeve split in it, which I have. So I need to wind that into some smaller balls, because I've been having a bit of a think about how I manage the sleeves, because it's great, they've got sleeves, but I want the colour fading sleeves. So that I'm going to wind that into 4 smaller balls of about 4.5 and 6.5 grams. The idea being I can start sleeve 1 with a 4.5 and a 6.5. When the 4.5 runs out, I add in an 11 gram ball that I've got of colour 3. This is one of my 11 gram balls. I've got 4 of these of colour 3 because that was naturally going to give me that fade. I haven't done colour 4 yet. I was like, I'll do one colour. As I get towards the end of putting colour 3 into the body, then I need to do that. So yeah, we made some good progress on that. I am just going to do this bag up just because there's a lot of space on my sofa. Yeah, I'll just go into that in a bit more in a minute. So yes, that is coming along. I honestly don't think it'll be done by Christmas, which is what I wanted. But there's a lot of knitting and I'm not stressing myself. If it doesn't get done, don't get done. It's not the end of the world. The other thing I've been working on, and this is one that I talked about but didn't show, but I decided I'm going to show it anyway. Don't care. If the judges see it and disqualify me from entering, then tough. Is my entry, my hopeful entry, fingers crossed, might not be my entry if I don't get it done in time, for the competition that my local yarn shop have every year. And I'm doing the shawl hooded cardigan, and I'm going to try and put a picture up here, by, I can't remember who it's by even. And I'm doing that in some woolly knit. So when I was at Yarndale the other year, I bought 400 grams worth of 4-ply British wool, in this beautiful mottled purple colour. And so this, which is not on a big enough cable to show you really, is the start of the cardigan. So this out here is to show me which way round I am, because that's the front side, because this is garter stitch at the moment and I need to know front and back because of the increasing. So yeah, but when I mentioned it last time I was here, so I'm going to move Mr. Blue Owl down to where I am now. So yeah, so this is a really interesting construction for a cardigan, which is one of the reasons I'm doing it, and just I wanted to do it anyway, and I'm doing it in one colour at the moment. I already have plans to do another one. We'll talk about that. So this cardigan, you knit a shawl effectively. So that is my shawl centre point. So I've been knitting a triangular shawl, but I've done increases at this point-ish here and here. So this, between that one and that one, that's actually going to be the shoulder of the cardigan, and this is the front of the cardigan. So you knit the shawl, then you do some short rows to pick up the body, which is knit stocking stitch going down. From this edge here, you pick up and do a hood. The pattern has you do this in 2 colours, so you garter stitch 2 rows of each colour, alternating. I'm, while working on this, been thinking about my stash and the yarn I have and what I could do, because that's what I do. I'm like, doing it once, but do it again. And I'm actually thinking I've got the 4 weekly advent from Little Icat from last year, which was 4 shades of purple. Plus I've got the main skein from the overall advent, which is another purple. Looking at the amount of yarn that is in the pattern and what it says for my size, that's not enough. But I have got quite a lot of leftovers from the advent. I think I need to have a look, but I think I've got between 6 and 8 grams of every colour left. So I actually think I might well use the advent colours as one of the 2 colours in the striping, and then use the main skeins with the main skein, and then use the other main skeins for the body, and again stripe the hood with the advent. Not quite sure. I need to get it out and plan it. I'm going to be honest, that's not something that's on my current plan of cast-ons. That's been a last few evenings where I've been sat thinking and gone, could do that. That'd look really good. Can we just tone it down a bit, because I've got a lot of ideas and not a lot of time. So let's go. Yeah, let's do the first one first. As I say, they were 200 gram cakes. You can see that's how big one cake is, having knitted all that. I'm currently about 2 rows off finishing part 1 of back, shoulders and front. So you start with back, then you do back and shoulders, then back, shoulders and front, part 1 and part 2. I'm on nearly finished part 1. I'd like to have part 2 done soonish. It's nearly 500 stitches. It's a lot of knit, long time to do a row, but I'd quite like to get that on with that. So yeah, so that's sitting there, and actually I have been doing that recently because actually it's that nice garter stitch. It's been quite therapeutic and easy. And I love the pattern. The pattern is so well written. Literally for every size, you've got a chart that says after this many repeats of this part of the pattern, if you're doing this size, this should be your stitch count. So this many between for the first marker, this many between these 2 markers, this many between these 2 markers, 1 central stitch. And again, it just really, so every 4 rows you've got a stitch count to make sure you're right. Pick up where you might have forgotten an increase, because there's lots of increases, and I have them. And it's really easy to fudge, but you know, it's great. So yeah, really enjoying working on that. As I say, having ideas for another one already. And that's partially because that's the sort of garment I wear a lot. So actually, if I'm making garments I'm going to wear, that's got to be a bonus. And I say certainly in one colour it would go over something like this quite easily as well. So say to all the whips that have seen any work at the moment. So coming on to what have I cast on, you've obviously seen the glad tidings socks because I finished them. I have cast on one other pair of socks, and I did talk to you a bit about this last time, and that's my Spin and Bleather sock. This looks very bulky because I have just thrown everything in the bag together, because I didn't really open it last time and go through it because it wasn't December. So yes, there's multiple project bags in here. So this is from Jo Pickle. Again, it's one of her little pouches. You can roll it down, tie it, shove it in your bag. Great. I'll be honest, this was with me at church this morning. So where am I up to with my socks? Yeah, sorry for the poppers. I'm not going to pull the yarn out because I don't want to show anything else. So I did have the mini skeins, and you can see I've done the cuff and the heel in the mini skein, and then we've got 10 stripes on the leg there, which is days 1 to 10, 11 and 12. I am behind on these. I have not managed to catch up with these. I was late starting because I was like, I'm not starting until I've finished other things, namely that cardigan, and my knee wanted a bit further on my knitted socks, so I was late starting. So this one is on day 12, I believe, just starting day 13. So yeah, that's one sock. Then the other bag, I was working on this one this morning before I went to church. This is in a little pouch from Cuddlebums. This one, a little bit further behind. Again, got the mini skein for the cuff and the heel. It's got days 1 to 10 on the leg. I haven't actually picked up and got back into the round with that one. So I finished the heel on that this morning. So really, that's probably, if I pick a sock up later, will be the one I pick up to try and work on. So in the bag, as well as obviously I've still got I had the 2 mini skeins, so I've still got bits of those. But what else you've got in the little bag, we didn't explore because, I say, it wasn't. You got a little bit of information about the sock set, what the yarn is. So it's 80% merino, 15 nylon, 5 gold stellina. There's a couple of tea bags there. Gonna be honest, I don't drink tea. I'll drink herbal teas, but they don't appeal. So I'll probably take it to work. I know someone at work will take it. And then there was a couple of stitch markers in our progress keepers. So I'm not going to put them in socks because I suspect by the time I record again, those socks will be finished. So yes, that's the Spin and Bleather one, which yeah, as I say, that's what I cast on. Been working on. Put the mini skeins away, otherwise I'll lose them. That's why they're living in there at the moment. Because obviously I'm taking them around with me a bit of the socks currently. So that's all I've cast on. So what I'm going to do is do. I'm just looking at where I am. Trying to decide whether I do incoming or whether I do my advents first. I think I'm going to do advents first, just because, as I say, then I can clear a bit of space for some incoming and some life plans and things like that. So, advents. My first advent's in this great big bag. Got the 2 advents in here. So these are both my Mousewitch yarn advents. Got a label on there. And the first is my daily one. Now I need to just undo this because and I chose the Merry and Bright for my daily advent, so let's try to spread them out. This ribbon really isn't long enough for them all to hang nicely. So this is from Mousewitch Yarns, which is Mandy from Mouse's Makes, is the dyer. I absolutely love it. It is amazing. If you watch Mandy, you may have heard her say she dyed each advent as a full skein, full fade advent, and tailored a little bit to people. Because, so you may have noticed there's not a lot of yellow and orange in this advent. Compared to some of the other people's you see, you may see a lot more yellow and orange. I've certainly seen quite a few people where the yellow goes over an extra couple of days. Mine doesn't. I don't like yellow, and I'm fairly certain Mandy's aware that my kind of yellow's not my wheelhouse. It's one of those colours that just does nothing for me, tends to make me look washed out. So yeah, amazing, Mandy. It's fabulous. I love it. I am going to say I have changed my mind on what I'm going to do with it, and I'm still not 100%, but I'm sort of getting to 90% of what I'm going to do with this advent. So what I'm thinking with this advent, I was sort of thinking too, I'd love to have, some ways I'd love to have a garment. That may still be the way it goes, or I may still use some of it in something. But I'm actually thinking what I may well do with this advent. It's almost matching my t-shirts today. So this is today's colour. This was day 1, which is why it's got a little progress keeper on it. Just to help me remember which way I go. 2, no, choose hiding. 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So sort of just see it. My boobs, look, nice and laid out on my boobs. Absolutely love it. As I say, I've got my original idea is definitely not what I'm doing with it. So originally, my original idea is to do what I'm actually planning on doing with a different advent. So we'll come to that. But I'm thinking of doing the Imagination quilt, which is a pattern from Meema Makes that she's designed to go with an advent this year. It's designed to go with an advent, and the idea is you crochet little squares that make quilt blocks based on the Anne of Green Gables, and it's actually from the advent she designed it for originally is an Anne of Green Gables one. So I need to sit, once I've got the advent, once I've opened all the days, I want to sit and go, right, it says 1 in this, just check everything goes. As long as it does, that's going to be what that advent becomes. Might not be the sort of traditional colours of that advent, but I don't care. I think that that sort of thing will look amazing. If I'm not happy, then I will change it. My other idea, possibly a cardigan, working from top down, just fading everything. But I'm not quite keen on that idea. I like the idea of the quilt, crochet quilt. Now I had 2 advents from Mandy. My second advent is in here. So I'll be honest, we opened today's one of those already. These are, I'm keeping them in their cases. So you may remember I had the weekly one, so I've got week 1, week 2. So this is the moody and dark, because that's so you can see them there. So let's open today's. So it's moody and dark Advent, week 3. Open me on the 14th of December. There is going to be some rustling, I'm sorry. The yarn is in tissue paper inside the bag. I'm very sorry for the rustling, I'm trying to minimise it, get rid of that. So there's today's. Gorgeous yellowy, orange and browns and greys. I love this greys. So that goes like that. Not 100% certain whether I'm going to use this all together or whether I'm going to use these individually. It's probably going to get put away and think about this one. So yeah, just going back into the right weeks, just because that's how I'm keeping them, so I know which is which at the moment on these, because it just seemed the easiest way for me to do it. And I need to get some photos in a bit as well. So yeah. So, it's beautiful as well. This is gorgeous. So that's that one. So Matt, all of what I've got is this bag is hanging on the door by where all my advents are, so I can add to it daily without any worries. So that's that one. Just drop that to the floor. So as I say, I had 2 other advents. Next one is the one I put teeth in, it'd help, wouldn't it? It's one of the other one I ordered originally. So that is from Truly Hooked. As I say, I've had her various advents for the last 2 years. Absolutely love the colourways. This year, I actually went for the Purina yarns, the non-superwash, which is what kind of drew me to this bit. Now, I will say the non-superwash yarns don't absorb the dyes as heavily and as concentrated as superwash yarns, and I knew that when I ordered it. I was expecting it. If anyone's seen her pictures on Facebook at different days, it's really obvious which is the non-superwash. So this came, start here. This came in this beautiful box. So let's unpack this box. So we had these 2 beautiful, this illustration. There is another one. It's in here, I think. I used it last week in the weekly photo. Yeah, there's the other one. So I ordered the project bag, which is, I chose purple. Wonder why. I also ordered the main skein, which is there for Christmas Day, possibly 29th of December when I get back from my mum's, but you know, for Christmas. It's got some nice little treats in it here still. I will admit, I have been very good. Haven't been at the treats yet. But yes, they're very tempting. Partially because I'm showing you guys. So it has all these packages in. And we have this beautiful set of progress keepers, look, which are kind of based on the inspiration colours for the advent. So yeah. So let's take number 14 and put this box down just because I can't hold it forever. Actually, okay, sorry for the rustling. It's in a paper bag. Look at that beautiful, that purpley blue. Just look at that. Gorgeous. So this advent box was held together by a ribbon, which is what I'm using. So undo the ribbon. Again, the ribbon's not really long enough. So I'm just going to feed this onto the end here with its partners. Put it back with everyone. When I ordered this, I had an idea. I think that idea is going to come to life. So I'm going to use my bust again, look. It works. They themselves. Don't you throw it down there. I think. It's the first 14 days of this fade. Just look at that fade. It's beautiful. Like I say, it's more muted and pastely because of the yarn base. I don't care. I love it. It's what I wanted. And when I ordered this, I had a plan. I still think it's going to be the same plan. My plan is, stop hiding. To start with number one, I might start with number. When I see, I want to see it all before I make a confirmed decision. But the plan is to do top down raglan cardigan, just fading down the colours. Really simple, but let the yarn really speak and show off. And as I say, I had that plan right from ordering this advent, and as I say, the more I open it, the more I'm convinced that's going to be the idea. I just see all the colours together. Excuse me. To decide exactly which order, where I'm starting, what order I'm doing it in. So yes, absolutely gorgeous. Love the yarn. Verity, the dye behind this, is amazing. And I'm going to be honest, I've got more yarn from her on order at the moment, which is also going to be part of my. I'm planning to use one of my 12 cast-ons. We'll talk about. So that's that advent. So I'm just going to move that box because the picture's backing out too. Use them. And then you may remember I bought an extra advent when I was at Stafford Wool Gathering. Making my life a little bit. And that was from Creative Anarchy, and that was her Grim Tidings advent. And I really did go a bit out and bought this with a beautiful, I think it's a silk base. I've got silk and yarn, I can't remember exactly, but it's beautiful. So that was in this box. So open the box, take out what you don't need to see straight away. So yes, that was in this box. You can see here all the yarn is in these beautiful little boxes. So they all have the same little bit on the back about once upon a time, a crafter bought a yarn advent. Each skein dyed with magical dust. On the final day, they made a magical project bringing joy and peace to the season. So that's on the same thing on every box. So that's today's box. So we'll keep that one out, shall we? But you've also got a little booklet. Praline candle. So that's praline chocolate and vanilla, which does smell very nice. I've just got Christmassy candles on at the moment. And again, some little progress keepers from Pearl by Pearl, which again are beautiful. So the yarns, I really need to get my copy of Grimm's Fairy Tales down and actually have a look and read the stories, because the first one was Ash and Puttle. Second one was Red Riding Hood. So that each one had 6 yarns. So the third one, which we're into at the moment, is the Frog Prince. So again, this had a ribbon around it, much longer ribbon. So it does actually hold the yarns better. So there is a knot in the ribbon. That's to tell me that's the first beginning of it. So these are softer. You can tell they've got something else in them. So those are the first 6. Ash and Puttle. These are the next 6 for Red Riding Hood. And this is the first Frog Prince. And if we open day 14, we're ready? This beautiful little greeny, creamy colour. I'm going to pop that. To the ribbon. So we can see all days 1 to 14 together there. Now this one, originally I had no idea what I wanted to do. But I said I had an idea that I was going to use the Merry and Bright one for that I've changed my mind on. The idea I was thinking of, not in this ribbon so it doesn't disappear on me at the moment, was the Cosmic Blossom throw from Ambah Brien, which I've tried to remember, I'll put a picture in, which is designed for an advent, and it's 24 squares. They're all the same lace pattern, but I don't care. And as I say, I was going to use the Merry and Bright for that, but I think I've decided I'm not. I have decided I'm not. Decided actually I'm going to use, that's what I'm going to use my Grim Tidings Advent, because I think with the variety of colours in there, they all theme together enough that it'll work, but they're not a true fade, so I think that'll look better in that. So my plan is to do that with that one. My plan is that will probably, I'm 90% certain, I'm 99% certain on this now actually, because I've got the pattern, I'm ready to go, be my Christmas Eve cast on. The idea being I can get it all packed into a bag with all the needles, patterns on my tablet. I am at my mum's from the 23rd, so I can start on the 24th at my mum's. Christmas Eve cast on, sorted, brilliant, done. Not necessarily something I'd do at my sister's, but I can do it when I'm at my mum's, so yeah. Those that don't know, my mum and sister live next door to each other. But quieter at my mum's, the kids don't tend to come to my mum's much. We see the kids more in their house with my sister. So yeah. So I'm trying to look at this and I can't actually see it, so it's my advents. Yeah, my plans. So what's been coming in? There's a little bit. So it was Black Friday a couple of weeks ago. And of course you get bombarded with all the Black Friday stuff. I don't like supporting big companies if I can support little companies, basically. So if I can support a small business, I will, and I will do that over a big business. So, the first ones I looked at was Rebecca's Room had an offer on. And so I did get, she does a lot of the stitch markers, the ring ones I like. So I got some really big ones, which I'm hoping will make doing my chunky Aran cable cardigan a lot easier. Do you remember I'm struggling for stitch marks on that? And I don't like the ones I've got, which I think is one of the reasons I don't like working in it. Then I got a couple of sets of these Ritos. One's smaller than the other. So this way is Robin. I think it's Hyacinth, but I might be wrong. And then I've got some little heart ones as well, because they're solids. So yeah, just see the little heart. Sorry, it's reflecting a bit of the light, isn't it? Little hearts. So that was the first thing. That's what I'd forgotten and was hiding in the other project bag because I'd just gone, tidy up. I need it in there when I could. Then I'd looked at a few people and what people were doing. And a dyer called Wild Flower Yarns did a single skeins, lost one of a kinds, ends of lines type ones. So she was selling things off. And I did order a little bit from her. So, in fact, sorry, it's crinkling because it's in the bag. It's arrived yesterday. And there was a little sticker that said, happiness is the simple joys. And a Yorkshire tea bag in the package, so that definitely is good. So yes, I ordered a few bits from her. I did have a lot more in my basket and toned it back down because I'm good sometimes. So I ordered her enchanted yarn. In fact, I ordered 2 of her enchanted yarn. And this is it. So this one is a double knit with sparkle. And this one is a 4-ply sock without any sparkle. Oh, it's purple and white. Love it. I've got an idea for this one. My goal is to make a few more hats this year. And I think that'll look quite nice. Not quite sure whether this might be a Musselburgh hat as well. Haven't decided. So that's 2. That's 2. Okay. Just 2. No, just 2. Let's have frozen colourway. And again, it's that blues with a bit of creams. And again, this is the double knit without sparkle this one time. So yeah, really like that. Again, I thought if I'm doing some more hats, it's nice. And again, it's hand-dyed. I like to support smaller hand businesses and things rather than big businesses. So 3. Just 3. This is my final one. I'm going to keep this in the bag because it is a fade. I know the bag's sort of making it a bit paler than it is, but really don't want to have to get them all out and try and do it. These are all 50 grams. They are not 100 grams. There's 450s. So there's 350 grams in total. And this is the Sugar High full set. So yes. I have a plan for this. I don't know when that plan is going to come to fruition because, you know, well, I have plans, but I have life and I have plans for lots of things. My plan for these 7, I'm not sure whether I will hold them with an undyed, make it up to double weight, double knitting weight, or whether I'll just do a 4-ply cardigan. Again, I think fading down the rainbow, possibly that way, works really well. Yeah. So whether it'll be a 4-ply one, whether it'll be a double knit one, don't know. That's my plan for those. So yes, so I did buy a little bit there. Last Thursday was our Knit Group Christmas do, and somehow, don't ask me how, I was one of the part of the winning quiz team. So our team was called Fleece Navidad, and spelled fleece as in sheep fleece. And yep, I've got 100 gram cake. So this is Elements DK in their shoreline colourway. Again, not 100% scarf hat thinking that type of thing. But yeah, that's not quite all the incoming. The next incoming was a bit of a surprise to me. I'm going to be honest. It was a bit of a surprise. I forgot I'd ordered this. Fairly certain I ordered this on a day that I had a really rough morning at work. It showed up on my Instagram feed, and I went, do you know what? Yeah, I'll order that. That looks really nice. I had completely forgotten I'd done that. And then I got an email this week going, your parcel from Blue Fern Yarn has been dispatched. And I'm like, what have I ordered from Blue Fern Yarn? I don't remember ordering this. So what did I order? Yeah. Came in this beautiful box. So my useful yarn information in here. Let's tell me somewhere where I ordered. No, is it? No. The Winter Solstice set with the yak base. Yeah. So I've got. If you don't want to know what's in this box, please look away now. Excuse me. I've got a runny nose as well. Oh, don't want to be ill now. I'm not going to show the yarn, but I'll show you everything else. So in this box, there is, again, I'm not going to get stuff out because there's a limit to what I can do. A written in the stars, star sign oil burner and wax warmer. So, yeah. There is some wax melts to use from the Scented Barn. And this is the Winter Solstice colourway. What colourway? Scent. And there's also a cinnamon and blackberry scented candle, and that smells gorgeous. I have smelt it. Well, possibly after Christmas I'll be burning that one. And then there's also the Written in the Stars trinket dish. So yeah, that's the extras. As soon as I forgot I'd even ordered this, you know. And then there's 1, 2, 3 skeins of yarn. I'm not going to open the yarn because if people are keeping this box and saving it for Christmas box, which is kind of, I think, why I ordered it, because I hadn't ordered a Christmas Eve box and I saw it and went, oh, I'm going to order it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so I'm going to leave that. I kind of want to know what colours it is, because the reason I want to know what colours it is obviously it's coming up to 12 cast on's time. So yeah, one of my, no, I don't really want to go into too much, but I have a list of about 11 projects that I definitely casting on this year. One being the Imagination Quilt that I've talked about, one being that Cosmic Blossom Throw that I've talked about, one being the Truly Hooked cardigan that I've talked about. I really want to do another Pressed Flowers cardigan, but do it in 4-ply, and I want a bit less variation in the colours. I love my one that I did with my event last year. I have to be quite careful what tops I wear. I could get away with it with this one, but a lot of my tops are too colourful. I want something that's more a couple of colours, not lots of colours. I've got a navy blue that I bought at the Christmas Fall Show last year to use as a base colour. I have got 3. I've got 3 sets of 3 sort of skeins of hand dyed that I could use to do the colours. I want to see what colours those are, because I'm also thinking that might work quite well with it, because 3 skeins is not quite enough for so particularly when it's yak and it's a little bit less meterage. So yeah, I want to see what that's like and look at that for that reason. So I will undo them. So yeah, plans and life. So life, you may have seen on Instagram as well if you've been following over my December photos. I showed a photo of my present box. If not, I'm going to insert one here. Vicky's going to hate me when it comes to editing, but never mind, I'm going to insert one. And I talked about this previously. This was a box of stuff that I put together. A lot of it was this year or some in previous years. And I was taking it to the guide leaders and people at work to say, if you want something for Christmas, please feel free to choose something, but don't feel you have to. Sorry, something's taking my tablet. It's irritating me. I took it to them, and in fact, it went down really well, both at work and at the guide leaders, with people choosing things. So yeah, really pleased with that. I'm really pleased with that, and that went, and everyone seemed really happy with it as well, and were like, oh, it's amazing, thank you, and all that. So it was really good. So yeah, that's happened with life. I break up for Christmas on Tuesday, which is amazing. I work in healthcare. We rarely get to break up before Christmas Eve. Our clinic is still open till Christmas Eve, and it opens again on the 29th. So, but yeah, I break up then. I've got a weekend away next weekend with a friend. I come back from that. I've got one day at home, and then I say I'm going up to Mum's for Christmas. Come back probably the 28th or 27th, 28th. I'll come back. I'm back at work on the 29th. So, seeing as I've got a load of every week off beforehand, I can't complain. So yes, I'm really ready to break up. Slightly panicking about the amount of stuff I need to get done before I go away, because I really could do with getting everything sorted. But hey, trying to stay calm with it, trying not to stress myself, because that ain't going to make any difference. So yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my main things. At the moment, as I say, want to get those socks finished, want to get on with the cardigans, knowing that, as I say, I'm planning on doing 12 cast on starting on Christmas Eve. Also knowing that I'm only going to be taking a couple of bits to Mum's. I'm not taking everything because that would be ridiculous. I don't have space. I don't have time there. So I may take a hat to cast on. I'm not sure. We'll see. So yeah. If I finish the socks with the self-striping one, then I probably will use the extra to do some mitts because I like a nice long mitt and warm mitt on my hand. And I'd like one with a top. See, we'll see where we get to. I will be casting on the other glad tidings socks as well. We're using the wooden needles just in case because I'm going to be flying with those. So yeah, I want to wish everyone a happy Christmas. Have an amazing time. If you don't celebrate, I hope you just get a break. And if it's a case of it's not a good time of year for you, then know that I'm thinking of you. And yeah, hope everything goes as well as it can do because this time of year can be really hard for people. I've got friends that are going to have really tough years this year. But I just want to know that we're thinking of you. And yeah. My next plan is to record on the 1st of January 2026. Now, I will say I'm not going to submit you to everything I've knitted this year. You've seen it. If you watch the podcast, you've seen it. Loads of people do them, and it's not something I'm going to submit people to. What I actually thought I might do on the 1st of January is empty. You can just see here my Calyx unit. It's got 2 copies of project bags. So I thought I might just empty those onto the sofa and we might do what's in the bag instead because I think that'll be more fun. See what I've not worked on, what's there, see if there's anything I'm going to get rid of. So yeah, my plan is to do that on the 1st of January. And in the meantime, season's greetings, and I hope it all goes as well as it can for everyone. And if it's not for you, then at least I hope you have the time you want and you get to have some rest.